Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to remove the deck on this Ego electric mower. This is the 42-inch zero turn. It's got the wheel up here. I'm sure the procedure would probably be the same for the one with the levers, but I'm going to show you, I'm replacing the blades. Here's the model number of blades. This is for the 42-inch. You get 2 blades. I'll put a link to them in the show description notes. Here's the blades. They already come sharp, and I love that it comes with a manual in the box of how to change the blades. That's awesome. Now I will start off by saying I bought this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video, and I'll put a link to those blades in the show description notes. If you purchase the product using that link, the product doesn't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. It is a way of helping support my channel. That way I can continue to do these how-to videos. And I've done reviews on this, and I'm going to do my 3-year review. We absolutely love this mower, have not had any problems with it. So look for that video. I have the unboxing, how to set it up, and the initial review, but this thing has surpassed all expectations. So let's get started. I know because you're here to remove the deck. You want to remove the safety key. You can shut it down first, but I think removing the safety key takes everything away. Make sure the parking brake's on. And as an extra precaution, I'm going to take the batteries out because it only gets power from the batteries. So I'm going to pop these batteries. That way it is completely dead. There's not even a light on here. There's no way, the charger's not plugged in. It is completely dead and the key's out. Now we're going to need a 9/16 socket. You're going to put the handle, I'm going to show you these instructions. And again, there's the model number AB4200D for the blades. Put the adjustment height all the way down, and apparently there's 2 cotter pins. We got to remove the motor cable. I've never done this. And then there's that standard hook on the front. And then you're going to turn it out the side. It gives you, it gives you a really fine, gives you a good detail of where those are reusable cotter pins, it looks like. And then you're going to put some stabilizer bolts in these holes to stabilize it. Take the socket, get it off. You're going to look for, there's some grease. You may have to put some grease. It says every 50 hours examine the grease. We're going to find that. There's the specs on the grease. And then it's just reversing it. And one key feature is these blades say this side facing grass. So that's the downside. And both of these blades are exactly the same. And the blades are right at 21 inches, just a little under 21 inches each. Okay, draw a line so you know where to put it back to. Put that all the way down. It's kind of heavy. All right, it's all the way down. Now let's examine where are these. I've never had this deck off. Okay, that looks pretty simple. We're going to take that off. I think if you lift, yeah, that is super easy. Oh, it's out. Now we got to take the clevis pin out. That might be a little challenging. We got to disconnect some cables. I'm going to get some gloves on. If you're in a hurry, you might be able to do this without taking the deck off. Use a piece of wood to wedge it, put the deck all the way up and just use a 9/16 inch. That's what I originally planned, but I probably need to take this deck off, so I thought I would do a how-to video. These are the most amazing gloves in the world. Made by Milwaukee. It's all I use now. Okay, that's going to be kind of tricky to get out. We'll have to do something later. Okay, there's 2 of these connectors. Let me undo one and then I'll show you how. It's going to take 2 hands, but I'm going to show you. You're going to turn this collar. That collar turns right there. It took me 2 hands to undo it. You want to hold this and turn that collar. Hopefully it's focused for you. So there, yeah, then it just unscrews. All right, here's what it looks like. Looks like it's probably got some grease on it. I just got to do the same. And I definitely want to make sure so the red is on the right and the other one's on the left. So maybe they're the same. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, so these pins don't require a whole lot of effort. And then you may want to just get like a punch. Yeah. They're under a little bit of pressure. All right, what I found is if you hold see my hand's here, if you can just hold the deck up a little bit, it relieves all the pressure and the pin comes right out. So maybe somebody can help you, or just hold the pin or hold the deck. This is my helper. Miss Fiona is supposed to be helping me, but she decided just to take a nap. All right, other side. Again, these are designed to be taken out. So let's see. Lift this, that thing that's sticking up, that kind of lifts. And then you can just, oh yeah, ouch. You can just pull that out now. There. And again, yeah, I was lifting this piece right here. And then you want to reuse, reuse that. And then, all right, looks like both clevises are the same. So save those. Now you got to rock it forward to disengage this. And then you may have to manually move these wheels out of the way. You're going to lift this up, disengage that, and then you're going to pull it out the side. It's not super heavy. All right. Yeah, we want to make sure those look to be the same. So the red was on this one, the right one. Now, while I'm here, I think I got a bunch of dirt and debris here. I've never had these apart. So I'm really nervous, but I think I'm gonna try to clean this out, and we'll flip. Now, when I flip it over, I'm gonna put it on some mats so you don't damage anything. Here's what mine looks like. 3 years of extremely heavy usage, mowing about 1 acre, 2 acres. I'm absolutely impressed. Now, we mow the heck out of rocks and tree limbs. So, in theory, I could just sharpen these. I'm going to replace them. That way I have a set ready to go. But these things, I have not replaced these for 3 years or sharpened them. I'm going to scrape this. Man, this deck is held up. I mean, she mowed in the grass one time. Okay, we're getting a little bit of rust. That's okay. We do keep it in the garage, so it doesn't get a whole lot of weather, but that's pretty incredible. I'm super impressed with it. Again, this is 3 years. Heavy usage, our only mower. We sold our John Deere. We don't use gas anymore. Absolutely love this. That wasn't super heavy either. Our old John Deere was a bear. Again, 9/16. Now, they say that's the motor. You're supposed to put something in there so that when you undo this, it holds the blade. I might use wood, maybe, I don't know. That seems a little fragile. Then it says put another one in this one, but that doesn't go through anywhere, so, it's unusual. Both of them are exactly the same way. Neither one goes through. Maybe that slipped and turned or something, but we'll figure it out. But I'm going to try a wood, maybe something there like that. So I just used a piece of wood. This just felt more natural to me. I'm too afraid of breaking that. It wasn't on there super tight. Again, 9/16, and it's normal threads. It's not reverse threads or anything. So we want to save this washer. Yeah. Oh, maybe those are supposed to be, I think those are supposed to be lined up with those holes. I think they moved a little bit. I'm not sure. Yeah, it seems like they moved a little bit. So that's why I couldn't put anything there. They were not aligned. They were like that. Yeah, see, the holes were like over here. There's supposed to be grease. Ooh, I think we're out of grease. I think I gotta put grease down there. It's a little tricky. All right, let's look. We took the bolt, the washer, the blade, and I took the flange off. And again, there should fill. It says fill with grease. There's no grease there. She woke up from her nap. I think she's gonna help me. But anyway, I recommend before, we don't want to get any grease or nothing in there. So I recommend cleaning the deck before you take the blade off. And we don't want to. You want to help? We don't want to scrape it too hard. But again, it is held up really, really good. So we're going to get this all nice and clean. Maybe even some of this around there. I think that just goes up to where I was seeing it on top. but we'll see. Okay, I'm not sure how to do this. We need to get some grease down in there. There's probably a better way. It doesn't take a whole lot. And then I'll wipe that off. I'll wipe all that off. There's the recommendations for, it just needs to be able to operate up to 248 degrees. All right, I'll wipe that off. This side facing grass is gonna go up since I got the deck reversed. Oops, almost messed up. This looks in really good shape. I think a bunch of it's gonna smoosh out. There is a flat side. Yeah, and it smooshes out. So, in fact, it's hydraulicing up a little bit there. All right, so yeah, it doesn't take very much at all. I use way too much. All right, now we can put, now, supposedly we want to line, oh, that can only go one way, so. Now we want to, there is no flat side to this, but we want to line it up with the holes, it says. You get the washer. Washer has a flat side. And we want to tighten this down. And now I do want to use those things to tighten it down with. Now these 1/4 inch extensions, that seems to be the, I was going to use the wood. I'm not sure how critical this is to do this, but we got to put one here and one in here. It really wants to rotate, that's why. It's a little hard to do this. I'll show you, yeah, see. But there, I can get it. And you're supposed to torque this. I don't have a torque wrench. We're gonna get it nice and tight. So this is very important to use those. I just tried using the wood and it spins. You cannot tighten it with the wood because this part spins. So it is, this is something we're not used to doing, but it is, these 1/4 inch extensions work the best. So I'll be able to get it off. I'm not too worried about it now, but that's why. Okay. Tools, scraper. This little wire brush worked good, just getting this stuff off. If you don't clean your deck, it will rust. I have a few spots that's starting to rust. And you could pressure wash this, I guess, or something. You could do a little bit better job, but 2/4 inch wrench, but 9/16 3/8 socket. Some grease. You don't need much grease at all. Just get a little, just buy a little packet because it won't take much at all in there. Oh, and again, you could sharpen these. So get a grinder. You could sharpen those, and I'll have a set now to sharpen for in 3 years, hopefully. This thing's been, I cannot stress how good it's been doing. But anyway, this is gonna take me about an hour and it'll get quicker each time. And then I'll show you, we're gonna reverse the order. Okay, it's not, I'm getting winded. Slide it under. We're gonna have to put this front part in first. So make sure it's all the way back. So yeah, we gotta, now go forward. Come on. And both of those need to drop in. All right, I've been struggling. There's a trick. All right, there's a trick. You need to get this in here on both sides, okay? Then you're gonna push it back and then get this in like that, then push it back. Now you'll need somebody, because that's down all the way. I don't think I can find, no, there's fixed. I gotta lift the deck up. You could use a piece of wood or something to put that clevis pin back in. So that was the trick. Get that in the groove on both, get it sandwiched in between on both sides. Then play with getting this in, moving it back and forth, and then lift up to put the deck pins in. Hardest part, but I was able to do it. Put your hand underneath there, lift up, and you got to kind of wobble it around, and then you can slide the pin in from the back. So, and don't forget we got to hook up our wire connectors. All right, other side went a little easier. Now let's put the pins in. So, see how that hook's going to be up. That's what we used to take it off. We lifted that. The 90 degree goes up. You know, this pin could be, you know, you can rotate it any way, but all right. And you see, you can rotate it for easy access. Then you're going to just kind of push. That hook should go up and over. And there, it's installed. Connectors. Now, red, right. There's like an alignment. See how there's a flat spot? And then you have to kind of turn the connector. A little hard to do. Turn it, and then you're going to have to push it down and see it. You don't want to bend those pins, but turn it till it kind of clicks into place, and then push it, and you're going to turn this. And then don't force anything. And I wish I could show. I laid on my belly, and that left-hand side, kind of rotate it, and then you'll kind of find the flat spot on the right-hand plug, you know, and then kind of push. But then you got to push and kind of, you'll hear kind of a click. Then you can start threading this. This will not thread on until you kind of push this part onto this part. You'll hear kind of like a click. You got to really kind of push. It'll click, and then you can rotate this, and now it's tight. That's a watertight connection. So, you know, it's good. You know, hand tight's good. Just make sure it's nice and tight. And there, that's how they sit. I don't think there was anything I had to do. There's nothing up underneath there. I don't see any grease zerks. I'm going to check tire pressures. And I might check level. She said it wasn't mowing level. But there, blades installed. I don't know if there's anything I do in the app. I'm gonna connect it to the app too. Well, you ever have one of those jobs you just wish you could start over? The old blades were sharpened all the way up to here. I think my new blades are only sharp to there. I really like how they were. These things were awesome. I don't know if that's gonna, if the new blades, I should have put them side by side. So after I looked at the pictures of my old blades, this part is sharp, but it's painted. And then and you can see they kind of do an extra grind here maybe. I hope that I hope that it's sharp enough, like to cut. But I did look at the pictures of the new blades, and this does have an angle on it. It just didn't look super sharp, but this part did. So I hope it's going to be okay. Okay, tire pressures were definitely low, but there was a surprise. So the back one's 20. I think it's 24, but I put 26 in them. This one I had to take a picture. It's so hard to read. I only had 9 pounds in it, but it's supposed to be 46 PSI. That's pretty incredible. So, and this is the best thing since sliced bread. I've got this big air compressor, but I don't hardly use it anymore. Because you don't need a pressure gauge. So you screw that on, and I know Milwaukee makes one too, it's battery powered. It tells you the pressure, you dial in what I need. So I need 46. Whew. You hit start, and it shuts off automatically. Okay, again, my tire pressures were low. 46 in the front, 26 in the back. These were about 9, so that's probably why it wasn't mowing good. There are adjustments you can. There's knurled knob or underneath there. Hopefully I won't have to do that, but let's just, I've got it on. There's my hours. 94, that's it. I've had this for 3 years. I thought it would be more, but anyway, if you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.